Okay, I am not in my garage. I am in my backyard. So whenever I was cleaning out the garage, I knew I wanted to provide some kind of storage for all of the like gardening, lawn type stuff, and you guys all suggested that I put in an outdoor shed, and that is what I'm planning to do today. Currently, just have all of the stuff sitting on the back porch. So as I'm wrapping up this garage makeover, I'm already kind of creeping toward my next project. I'm like, I really need to get some stuff done here in the backyard, but I will eventually. So staying focused on our current project of not having all this stuff go back into my garage. This is like the side of my house over here that just never ever gets used because the gate is on the other side of the house. So we never go this way at all. The kids don't play down here or anything, so I thought this would be a perfect spot for a garden shed. So Patiowell is a company that makes garden sheds. They also make boxes for like outdoor storage, and they sent over this 4-foot by 6-foot outdoor plastic shed. And so that is what I'm going to be assembling today. Hopefully this doesn't take too long because the high today is like 80 something degrees and it is February. So like, I don't need Texas, what are you doing? Like summer's gonna be, whew, but let's go ahead and get started. After I got the base all assembled is when things really started moving a lot more quickly. I found it really helpful to use my mallet to kind of just tap things together to make sure that the little panels were all the way into the support braces and make sure that everything was lined up to try to make the building as square as possible. This little window is probably my favorite part. I guess I just think it's so cute. I was able to assemble the majority of the shed by myself, but for this part, I definitely needed 2 people to put the roof on. It would just made it a lot easier to have one person on each side so it can kind of slip into the slots that it was supposed to be in. And then I knew that I needed some kind of base for the shed because the floor of the shed it's kind of soft, so it needs something to add a little bit more support. So I just used this paver base to make a level base for the shed to sit in, and I spread that out and it dried, and I compacted it first and then it dried, and I was able to put the shed on top of that and have a much more solid foundation for it to sit on. And then I added the little latch and the shed was all finished. Okay, the shed is all done. You can see how much it holds. Like, I still would have a lot more room if I organized it a little bit better, put some shelves in here. I'll probably end up doing that eventually. But I think it looks really cute here next to the house. I like the little window. Also, you can lock it if you need to. So if you guys need a shed, I will leave the link to this one down in the description. They also have a bunch of other different sizes. They have metal ones, and I have a discount code for them as well, which I will also leave down in the description. Okay, it's the next day. All of the cabinets, everything is all dry. I put the doors back, and now I want to get to work on staining these countertops. So to stain the countertops, I'm using a new product. It's by Varathane, and it is their stain and poly. That way, hopefully I only have to do one coat, but I've sanded these down smooth, and I'm just gonna use a synthetic brush and brush it on. A few tips that I learned using a product like this. The first coat just really sucks up this product. It's kind of difficult to move around, but I am making sure that I am going with the grain of the wood because it seems to work out a lot better that way and go on a lot smoother. Okay, I'm not so sure I like this stain and poly combination. It does dry really fast, but I'm thinking I'm gonna let it dry for a little bit longer and then give it a second coat and see if we can't get it more even. In the meantime, I'm gonna work on getting some handles added to all of the cabinets so they'll be easier to open. Do you guys remember the handles that I took off of my bathroom vanity? I saved them, and I'm gonna be adding those to these cabinets. For these big cabinets, I wanted a bigger handle, so I got these 12-inch ones off of Amazon. They're gonna go like this, and to get them perfectly level, even though the ceiling's not perfectly level, like we're gonna make the handles perfectly level, I'm using this same jig, and I'm just going to mark, I'm using my laser level and using this jig to mark where the top hole is gonna go, and then we'll measure down from that one, and hopefully all of these will be level and look good next to each other. These templates are a lifesaver when you're trying to get all of your hardware to line up correctly. I got mine at Lowe's. It was a set of two, one for like a corner template and one for the one I'm using right now. They weren't very expensive. I'm sure you can also find something similar on Amazon, but I will link the ones that I am using down in the description. Also, the laser level is extremely helpful whenever you're doing a project like this, and I will also link that. Okay, these cabinets are officially done. It's so nice to have these handles on them because I'll be able to access everything inside so much easier now. A lot of you were suggesting in the comments, and I thought about this too, putting some kind of like trim or molding on the front of the doors to make them more decorative, but it's just more places for sawdust and everything to get caught, so I'm just gonna leave them a flat surface because I think they'll be easier to clean that way. And now back to these countertops for a second coat to see if we can get this finish a lot more even. Okay, the second coat definitely looks much more uniform. I still don't think this is like my favorite product, but it does have a strong protection with it, the poly, which is going to be needed out here. So I've started installing another thing that I'm excited about, and this is going to be wood storage up here for all of my like scrap wood of different lengths. So I'm just screwing those base pieces into the stud and then attaching the arms onto them that the wood will lay on. That is so much better to have all of my wood up off of the ground in the corner, falling over, more organized. And every time I do something small like this, I'm like, why didn't I do this sooner? But that's okay, I am doing it now. Okay, I think it's gonna be the last day of this garage makeover. Only a few more projects left to do in here. And the first one that I wanna work on today is this door into our house. I do like the green, it's just all beat up, and instead of repainting it, I thought, remember cyberspace that I mentioned that I used in the bathroom? I thought it might be nice to use it on this door. I thought it would look nice with the cabinets. I have a good bit left over, and it's really good paint, so we're gonna try it on the door. I ended up doing 2 coats on the door, and while that was drying, I decided to hang all of my ladders on the wall just to get them off of the ground. So I got some little hooks that I could screw into the studs, because that's really important, because some of the ladders, especially this one, are pretty heavy. So I'm just anchoring that into the studs and just making everything more organized in here, but I can also easily access it, but hopefully it won't catch all of the sawdust and take up
more of my floor space that I'm hoping to use for projects when I'm working out here in the garage.
Okay, a couple more projects left to do in this station right here. I don't know if I've ever mentioned before like why I have my shop vac under here. It's because I'm going to connect my shop vac to my miter saw. It can kind of just go in back here. Well, let me see if I can find it. Go in back here so it'll catch all of the like sawdust and everything. So I want, instead of it coming out the front right here, I want it to just have I'm gonna cut a hole right here so it can come up through there and connect, and it'll be a lot more seamless. You can also do this with a lot of tools. You can connect it to your sander. I always forget that and it makes a big mess, but I don't want to have this whole area always full of sawdust. We're trying to cut down on that. So I'm going to keep it connected to my miter saw to try to help with that. Okay, and the last thing I need to do over here is secure these countertops to the cabinets. I never did that. So I am just going to use these L brackets here, little corner braces that one will attach to the countertop and one will attach to the cabinet, and it'll hold it in place.
Okay, I'm just adding a few final touches to this garage makeover, adding a little like pin board so I can put paint samples, and also a dry erase board. I put these on with Velcro command strips so I can take it off. You can see here I designed the garage shelves on the dry erase board, and I can draw up whatever projects I'm thinking of. But the garage was done, and just a reminder of what it looked like before, and this is how it turned out after.
The garage is finally done, and I could not be more excited to have this project finished. And now I'm so excited to use it whenever I'm doing projects in the house with everything organized. I'll be able to see all of my stuff and have a real space to work. Now, a couple of questions that you guys had. You're probably gonna ask, like, why did I not do the floor? Just so you guys know, the flooring that I was thinking about doing in here was over $1,000 to do, and it's just not in the budget right now. And I still have maybe a couple more things that I'll do in here down the road, or maybe as needs arise if I get an idea. But for now, this is 1,000 trillion million times better than it was, and I am so excited to have it. So let me know down in the comments what you think, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.